Hey guys, welcome to another section of D&D. On our last episode, Barnes sneaked into the hallway where he discovered three goblins around the fire camp. Seeing that there were only three, me, Buzz, and Barnes got ready to fight. Barnes ran in first. The dwarf, being brave and courageous, charges into battle while letting out a battle scream. The goblin quickly looked back as he charged, but he slipped face first right into the dirt. The goblin got ready to attack, so I launched a spiritual weapon, a smaller version of me, to attack the goblin that was ready to attack Barnes. But this goblin dodged it. They weren't ordinary goblins. They were half-breed goblins. Half goblin, half kobold. As this is happening, I hear a noise behind me. When I look back, a big half-orc barbarian was walking towards me. I recognized him somewhere in town before. The barbarian half-orc took a glance into the direction of the fallen dwarf and speed up right to him. "These creatures bully you?" he asked. "Not yet," Barnes replied. "Good. We small dwarf need to stick together," the half-orc replied. You see, we found out later that the half-orc was named Gulag, who was found by a dwarf in a trash can. Ever since that day, the dwarf took hold of Gulag and raised him as his own. So Gulag always thought he was a dwarf. You can imagine the face expression Barnes made. Gulag helped Barnes onto his feet, but the creature now have their eyes set on Gulag. Barnes then looked back at the creature and attacked, but the conniving half-breed dodged it again. Buzz went next. He picked up his axe and dived straight down at one of the creatures. The axe dig deep into his shoulder of the creature letting out a horrifying scream. And as the axe finished right at its torso, the creature collapsed, dead. The other creature looked at Buzz and aimed their crossbow at him. The flurries of arrows misses except one, who pierces Buzz. While this is going on, one of the creatures starts running away from Barnes into the direction of another hallway. However, Barnes took his axe and drove it into the back of the creature. As he took it back out, the creature let out a horrifying scream, but kept running, driven with high adrenaline. I wanted to finish it up with my spiritual weapon, but there was no way that my spiritual weapon could catch it, and the creatures were very tricky. I moved forward, channeling holy magic through my body and cast a spell, Bless. Three creatures I see will benefit by being empowered. I kept my concentration on Buzz, Gulag, and Barnes. The three comrades starts to glow with a purple shine around them. Gulag jumps in to attack a creature, hitting him right at the stomach, plundering to the ground. As Gulag returns his axe back up into position, the creature is being lifted up by the axe and drops, landing on his feet. The creature looks up at Gulag as Gulag angrily smashes his axe on his head, splitting it in two, making the creature collapse on the ground, dead. While this is happening, the creature that was running away from Barnes was getting close to call for help. Barnes kept charge at that creature, doing a roundhouse with his axe, hitting the creature right on his neck, decapitating him. The creature's body hits the ground. Noises attracts the other creatures in from the hallway and move in for an attack. But Buzz charges first, attacking that creature, similar to what Gulag did, but instead, as he brings his axe back up, a severed hand is what comes up as the creature jumps back in extreme pain. The other creatures angrily shoot flurries arrows at Buzz, this time one missing and the rest hitting, heavily damaging Buzz. I rushed in at one of those creatures, sending my spiritual weapon at them. My spiritual weapon with flurries of its own rampage on the creature over and over until the creature falls down on the ground and stops moving, presumably dead. Gulag also takes a turn in showing these creatures more brutal strength as he swings on another creature, almost missing, but being empowered by Bless, it pushes him forward, connecting on the creature in the chest, sending it tumbling. With the creature dead, Buzz was able to move forward to see on the other side, but his expression changed with a look of worry in his face. Looking back, signaling to us, "Get ready, we're in trouble." Barnes moves and sees the creatures inside. These looking much more different than the creature before. Barnes moves in front of Buzz and stands in a ready position to block any hits that will hit Buzz. The creature in front of it has a whip and lines it up to hit Barnes. On the first attack, the whip slashes at Barnes, but as it winds up to hit overhead, the whip gets stuck for a millisecond into the ceiling. As it strikes down, little rubble falls down, not hitting anyone, but it deters the path of the whip a little from hitting Barnes a second time. Seeing that my comrade has been taking damage, Buzz heavily, I rush up next to Buzz and Barnes. I focus my holy power within, channeling holy life from my hand. I reach to both Buzz and Barnes with each hand to heal them both for a major amount of damage taken. Gulag, seeing that the dwarf is being bullied, rushes at one of the kobolds. With full rage activated, he smashes his axe at the creature. The creature gets pummeled into the ground. Instant death. As he picks his axe, the first kobold that was already dead comes up with it, and he smashes it again on the next kobold, killing them both. One of the kobolds that saw this had his leather bottom half full of fluid, as if it was peeing itself from the sight of what Gula did. As the kobold stops peeing itself, we can see fear in its eye and it gets ready to run around and run. The kobold with the whip starts murdering in language we don't understand but looks extremely angry and points its whips at Gulag. Bonnet rushes at the kobold with the whip, but the kobold quickly turns in anger at Barnes and lashes at him. The whip came down at Barnes, but Barnes dashes to the right and swings his axe at the creature from above. The kobold also moves and dodges, and as the whip comes from the ground up, Barnes quickly swings another roundhouse and hits the creature in the chest, the armor protecting it but taking small damage. The creature angrily makes furious blows at Barnes, but Barnes managed to swiftly dodge each one of them. One of the other kobolds jumps behind the kobold with the whip, ready his crossbow, and fires at Gulag, hitting him. Gulag looks at the hit, thinking a fly must have bit him. Buzz turns to attack. He launches at the kobold with a whip. The whip kobold makes an attack at Buzz. As it launches his whip, Buzz readies himself for the impact with his shield, but it lands a little bit over the top of his shield, hitting his shoulder. Right there and then, Buzz hits the kobold right at the same spot Barnes hit him. He drops his sword to dig it deep within the spike of the creature, but it doesn't get right in, still grazing the creature, dealing heavy damage. The creature looks even more angry, but it also looks extremely messed up. I took this opportunity to attack. My spiritual weapon lashes at it with flurries of blows to its face, collapsing on the floor, dead. Gulag rushes at the kobold, getting ready to run away, and then smashes it with his axe. The kobold screaming, turning around to run, but as he does so, Gulag swings his axe again, eviscerating the kobold. This ends our huge battle for the moment. With all the kobold dead, we took a moment to catch our breath and get to know one another. As Gulag was also interested in Barnes, Boro found the mountain dwarf. They both chit-chat while me and Buzz listen. The chat looked very comedian, because anything that angers a dwarf will anger Gulag, for he thinks he's a dwarf by being raised by one. But awkward to Barnes, for he is a dwarf, not a half-orc barbarian. As the chat went on, Gulag did look up and allowed us to notice the platinum that were covered in the cave. We decided not to touch those, as we didn't want to tarnish our name. We just wanted to finish the job, clear the minds of these goblins and kobolds. During this time, while Gulag and Barnes kept their hilarious chatting, a druid appeared, and it was the same one that was on the journey when we were returning with the crazy lady and her ritual needs. She informed us that she, the crazy lady, escaped and is heading back to the ritual site. Great, like we don't have trouble as it is. Instead of letting the druid follow her, we asked for her hand to speed up the task at hand. We asked her to go ahead and scout for us, as we needed to see what was going on and plan our next attack. When she returned, she said that there were a lot of traps being laid by the kobolds, probably from all the rackets that we made during the last fight. She was a snake form when she went in, so the trap didn't quite spring at that form, but would do so if we went in. Gulag went in with his idea first, to get down like a snake and do the same, not springing any trap. Gulag demonstrated how. A quiet lingered the room for a few moments, as we looked at Gulag in the floor demonstrating his snake's way. Okay, we looked back at each other, and as much discussion, we decided to go with Barnes' idea and just trap one of the entrance and head back to the main entrance, basically collapsing the wall. We would flush them to the main entrance instead and fight them there. The druid used a form of magic with one of the platinum on the ceiling, pouring from skin of water and magically transforming the platinum into a smaller sculpture of Gulag. Gulag was amazingly impressed and happy with it. You see, the place where I remember Gulag was one of the shop area where Gulag was selling his so-called sculpture, but it was just a pound of rubbles. This is because Gulag would get mad, smash the sculpture, and then the end result will always end up being a pile of rubbles. But who could say no to those rubbles? Just look at Gulag. They would piss themselves if they did. So he always got 1 to 3 copper for his sculpture. As we reached the main entrance, I sat down in the corner to meditate and regain some of my power. Gulag and Barnes decided to go outside and get some tree to lay down some trap and smoke the entrance area of the 3 other entrance area in the main entrance. While Barnes chopped one side, Gulag dig his hand right at the tree and picked it up. Barnes extremely impressed with the strength of Gulag had. Gulag then returned with it into the mine, but getting stuck around the hallway. Myself, I hear a huge noise coming from the entrance, as if there were armies scraping by the wall of the hallways and ready to enter. I get ready to cast a strong spell, but it was just Gulag, dragging half tree, as the other half tree fell apart inside the hallway. This guy's gonna give me anxiety, I murder. As Gulag and Barnes finish prepping everything, a message is heard on my head. This must be the druid. She says everything is done, and she is returning. The entrance is collapsed, which after, well, the section ends, and we wait for the next section, probably next week. Most likely this video will be finished somewhere close to Monday, so around Tuesday or Wednesday will be the next section.
Fold down your hands, give me a sigh, put down your lies, lay down next to me, don't listen when I scream, bury your doubts and fall asleep.